It's time to make things tricksy. No, damn it, I meant tricky. With the winter so very much upon us, it's time for a snow-filled extreme snowboarding game. And I mean it. This game is very extreme. From the characters to the tricks, this game is dope fly shit. I personally own the GameCube version of this exciting snowboard extravaganza. Go into the title menu, you have two gameplay options. Gameplay, or the making of. Huh. Alright, I guess that's something. So how does this game work? Well, it's pretty predictable as far as snowboard layout goes. Reminds me of 1080 snowboarding for the N64, and even Tony Hawk's skateboarding to a degree. Unlike 1080 snowboarding, this one actually is very hip and uber fun tricks and radical characters. I know, I already said it, but I'm gonna say it again. SSX Tricky was not the first to be released in the series. The first was obviously SSX, then came Tricky. Tricky was apparently considered an updated port of the first one, so not too much of a sequel I suppose. Don't know, never played the first one. I know they released several other games later on down the road, but okay, I have to explain something. Have you ever played a game that you enjoyed so much that when a sequel came out you kind of just got too scared to want to play it? Just of the general fear of that it may ruin the entire franchise for you to prevent you from even enjoying the game that you originally enjoyed? I know, it doesn't make sense, but shut up, that's my logic. That's why I don't go to Chrono Cross. So how does this game play? Well, pretty solid to be honest. You have tons of modes in the game. Free ride, play by yourself or against a buddy. Practice. Oh gee, what do you do on practice mode? Let's think. No, really, sit there for a second. World Circuit. This is a big mode, allows you to play the circuit all the way through the courses, unlock characters, outfits, boards, achieve bronze, silver, gold, you know, the typical kind of stuff. And single event, which allows you to play single courses by yourself. You get to choose from 13 riders. My favorite is Simon. He's freaking nuts and God, he's just so freaking wacko, and he's from Canada. Of all places, the most innocent and just pure place, and you produce this guy. I just love it. One thing that I love, and I think everyone can attest to this, is that this game has the greatest soundtrack in existence. Especially the intro song by Run DMC. It's so catchy, I would even say it rivals... No, what? How did that clip get in there? Get that out of here. Welcome! Punch! Speaking of rivals, something kind of radical about this game. The more aggressive you are with other riders during the World Circuit, such as pushing them over, will adjust their response towards you during the upcoming races. Either they will play fair or take you down. The reward for knocking them down, however, is a full tricky meter. So is it worth it? Yes, absolutely, because I'm an asshole. It also prompts some interactions between the racers before and after races.
Don't break anything on the way down, chicken legs. Oh, get over yourself.
Now, throughout the race, you can perform tricks which build up your tricky meter. Now, you can either use the tricky meter as boost, or you can hold out till you fill it up all the way, and then bam, the music kicks in, and you can perform your uber tricks. Now, if you successfully land one of your uber tricks, then you get a letter added to the tricky. Now, when you get tricky filled up all the way, you have unlimited boost, and you can do your uber tricks whenever you want to for the remainder of the race. So it's very rewarding if you can manage to pull it off. When you earn enough experience points for a given character, you also can upgrade their statistics, so you can either increase their worst trait to be more usable or max out their preferable stats. I really genuinely love this little RPG element added to a sports game of all things. This was new for me when I first played Tricky, and it definitely drew me into the game a lot harder. I have to say, while checking up on this game, I discovered something interesting. There's a Game Boy Advance port? I wonder to Christ how that plays. I know to some people this isn't a legit snowboarding game as far as realism goes, but honestly that's why I enjoy the arcadiness of it so much. If you find this game out in the wild, I suggest you grab it. It's tricky time to rock around as tricky. Well, now I feel like I'm ready to go snowboarding. I think I broke a butt cheek. Thanks for checking out this episode, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Please hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed the show and if you really want to help it out. Share it via all your social networks. Speaking of social networks, check us on Facebook or me on Twitter. Comment below, I would love to hear suggestions or just general conversations with y'all. Speaking of which, any good indie games out there? Don't know, I've been kind of feeling indie games lately. Click here for Patreon as well. It's really easy to help support the show financially. $1 a month is more than enough. Also, what are some good rewards for Patreon? Any ideas? I've been trying to kind of come up with some good rewards for people to help out the show. Finally, this is Kevin's debut episode of Etrian Odyssey 4, and over here is my review of Trixie and Toyland. Thanks, guys!